What is a sign that you're unattractive? The only people commenting on your looks are an entire generation older than you. Edit. Generation as in you less than parents less than grandparents. When you have. You are nice from inside. Talk with your parents, friends. When the popular kids would prank their friends by getting you to ask their friend out. When people talk to you in order to get to know your friend. Several people send you the same poem about being beautiful. On the inside. Yeah. That happened. When you post a picture to social media and all the comments are about how brave you are. The only people who smile at you are people who work in retail. If you tell a self-deprecating joke, everyone will look uncomfortable or get quiet. You get the sympathy smile. When I worked at a homeware store, I greeted a guy and we started conversation, can't remember how, but it ended with him gesturing to my face and saying beauty isn't on the outside, it's on the inside. I'm sure he meant well, but God, did that cause a spiral of self-consciousness. I was only 15. Small kids saying you are ugly. I had really bad acne in high school. It sucked at the time, but now I can laugh at the fact I used to look like a lumpy tomato. But babies would always cry and I recall a lot of dogs barking at me. When people don't laugh when you joke about how unattractive you are. You never, or rarely, catch people looking at you. When people's eyes just consistently glaze over you. You're 13 and at a sleepover and a fellow 13-year-old you've known for 20 minutes looks you straight in the eye and, unprompted, says, "You're really ugly." I'm less ugly now, but it was true at the time. "You're a bitch, Jordan." People social distancing to me before it was introduced. You only match with bots on Tinder. The one compliment you get is that you're nice, if you get compliments at all. When someone of the opposite gender hugs all your friends but high-fives you. Mirrors? When your friends say they want to set you up with someone. And they'll run it by the other person then get back to you. Then you never hear about it ever again. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm unattractive. I mean, I simply might not be their type. But also, it's happened a few times now, Sue. When you smile at someone and they pretend they didn't notice. When your friends describe you as someone with a big heart. You came here to see if anything anyone posted matches your real-life experiences. I wish I can find a partner just like you. When your husband tells you you need to put on some makeup and do your hair when you already have. The government asks you to wear a mask in public and stay 6 feet away from everyone. When you're at a party and you stand by the keg for 10 minutes while the dude in charge of filling cups ignores you in favor of all the hot girls who came over after you. See the girl next to me? Neither do I. Her? Is she funny or something? When the guy in the van is suddenly all out of candy. They say your best traits are that you're funny or have a nice personality. You don't get any matches on any dating apps. Nobody ever looks at you. No compliments from anyone besides teachers and the like. No eye contact. People will fuck with you for shits and giggles. You're that friend in the friend group that's always forgotten about. People do that thing where they smile or chuckle at things you said that weren't funny. I'm probably forgetting some, but as an ugly dude. These are what I notice the most. You're always the one who has to start a conversation. Conversations end when you try and participate. Clicking on this thread to see how many things you relate to. When it takes the bartender 15 minutes to notice you. Your parents make you live in the shed out back and only feed you biscuits with mustard. The only compliment you get is that you're funny. Being asked out as a joke. Yeah. That really destroyed my confidence and any and all feelings of self-worth as a 16-year-old girl. It's been 12 years and I'm in my first relationship and I still struggle to believe that a guy could actually like me. When you ask people out and they say, "Ew, I don't even like you as a friend." When everyone in your friend group, family tells you you look good, but nobody ever flirted with you or was interested in you. Or when your friends talk about how men and boys slide into their DMs on Insta. And it never happened to you. One time while going to the gym, a guy held open a door for these smaller, prettier girls and then just stopped holding it for me. When you joke about someone liking you and they act like it's the most repulsive thing in the world. People don't acknowledge that you exist. Dang, guys, I think I'm ugly. I have a good personality. You're always the smart cousin, never the pretty cousin. If you're panicking while reading this thread. When you get bounced at the club where regular people get in easily. When you accidentally catch a girl's eye. And just give a little smile to not seem rude. And their face contorts in disgust and then they quickly look away and you can hear them exhale with punctuation. So you learn to take more showers and wear nicer clothes and shave your face and get a haircut more often. And go to the gym twice a week. Then a year later, you've lost 40 pounds. And you are buying well-fitting clothes. And notice how easy it is to open a jar of jelly with just your hands. So then next time you are at the grocery store and catch a random girl's eye. You smile at a girl and she hides her face and she goes "Ugh." That is when you know you are unattractive. When they always mention how funny or smart you are. When you post a selfie saying you're ugly and everyone is nice instead of accusing you of fishing for compliments. People cringing when they look at you. When a guy taps you on the shoulder. You turn around to say hi. And then you immediately see the regret on his face. And then he has the balls to admit he doesn't really want to talk to you anymore. True story. You post on Reddit. When you show up in court due to a parking ticket and end up with a 5-year jail sentence. When you go to get your picture taken at the DMV and they turn the flash off. When you're only allowed to go outside after dark. Realizing that, at 44 years old you can't remember anyone ever telling you you are pretty. That's an eye-opener, considering women tell each other they're pretty even when they're lying. Lack of matches on every online dating app you have installed. When your friends and family say they have someone perfect for you, and every single time they show you pictures of equally unattractive people. That's what they think of you. Why did I read this thread? It's just making me sad and uncomfortable. Okay guys, you can stop listing my characteristics now. When you're born and the midwife spanks your mother. You're cute, just not my type. If you hear that a bunch, I have bad news. When you take 20 selfies and can't find a single good one. If you say something along the lines of, "I'm ugly," in a social situation and everyone gets really awkward and uncomfortable instead of disagreeing. You're unattractive. When something bad happens, people don't bend over backwards to tell you it's okay. I once dated an extremely attractive girl who rear-ended a middle-aged gentleman in a nice car and he just laughed it off and told her not to worry about it. It turns out that was not the first time something like that had happened to her. I was baffled and apparently not attractive enough and/or wrong gender to have ever experienced something like that in my life. Putting on a ton of makeup and still looking ugly. You drop the soap in the prison shower and nothing happens. You have to ask strangers for hints. Hi fellow classmate, I have a boyfriend. When nobody wants you. When you ask how to tell whether you're unattractive on Reddit. Oh wait. No eye contact. When the most common thing you hear from girl is you're a nice friend. When you stay behind your group of friends to tie your shoes or something and everyone keeps walking, but if one of your other pretty friends stop, the guys will wait for them. My life is sad. When someone looks at a photo of you with friends and says, "Wow, your friend looks so cute and skinny here." The day I realized I was unattractive. I was 10 years old. In 5th grade. The governor's wife had cancer. And my 5th grade teacher decided my class would make big "Get well" banner for the governor's wife. I was the only kid that really worked on it. Recesses, lunches, after school. A few other kids had started working on it but quit after the first day. When it was finished, my teacher took us 4 students and the banner to the Capitol building. A reporter and a photographer from one of the newspapers was there. And they did a little story about it and took a number of pictures. The next morning my dad went to the store to buy a copy of the paper because I was going to be in it. When he found the small article and photo, the picture they used was one where the photographer had our teacher standing to the left of the shot, the other 3 kids from my class we holding 3 of the corners of the banner, and he had moved me to the right out of the shot. I got the obligatory, "not pictured" line in the caption of the photo. That was the day I realized I was ugly. The day that I realized when the kids at school made fun of me, they weren't being mean, they were being honest. That adults saw me as ugly too. And that even a photographer, reporter and an editor of a newspaper decided that a photo for a human interest story would be ruined did I were in it. People will, out of absolutely nowhere, remind you that looks aren't everything. A clear sign would be when someone tells you, You look like your face was washed with acid and dried with a cheese grater. Yup. That's a sign that shouldn't be ignored. You roll up to the club in a Lambo and fly threads and the ladies still ignore you. You get kicked off Tinder for violating rules 1 and 2. When people look at you with pity. You end up on this site answering these inane questions on a perfectly good Friday. People fart around you. Children younger than you, including people your own age, flat out calling you ugly to your face and then go and gush how good looking your twin brother is. People's expressions on their face when you first meet them. When a girl that you met online asks you to get in a relationship with her. And though you're not interested, you agree to not make her feel bad and to boost your non-existing self-esteem. Then when you two trade pics, she blocks you. When you tell yourself you're just not photogenic. Villagers with pitchforks and burning torches. When a stranger is walking toward you. And just when it looks like they are about to nod and smile, they instead jerk their head and look away. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away. Rolling stones. When the priest keeps his distance. Hey friends. Don't read any further. It's rough. Losing followers every time you post a pic of your face. My buddy asked her friend if she could bring me along to a party. Her friend asked, "Is he hot?" She replied, "He has a big heart." You clicked on this link. That's an interesting question. I quite often feel as though I am a painting or photograph in a gallery. People look. They stare, then as they come closer they decide that I'm actually that really odd, peculiar little art project that was only hung between the beautiful works of art because there was a space to be filled. My parents.